Boom!
Welcome, everyone, to LC Podcast number 73. Here with me today is Jack right there. Is that the same on your screen, Peter?
No, but just roll with it.
Okay, Peter down in that corner. You're probably up there then. Or down there.
I'm down there, yeah.
It's down there
then,
for me.
And Jack is over here.
Yep,
And Graydon is right there.
that's what it is on my screen.
Perfect. Wonderful. On my screen, you're over anyways. That's a whole nother thing. You know what's pissed me off today, boys?
What has pissed you off?
Damn, we're getting right into it, huh?
He's angry.
You know what? I'm mad about this. I hate fucking reviewers. So here's the thing. Okay, so you can hear my voice through this mic, right? And it sounds like I'm talking through a fucking walkie-talkie. That is what it sounds like. This is a $230 Logitech mic, and it sounds like I'm talking through a fucking muffled garbage bag. And you know, it wasn't really pissing me off until I was listening to Eric and I are playing Wasteland 3. And the easiest way for me to record is to just use the party chat system as the audio source. It fucking made me lose my shit, because here I sound like I've got, like, Eric sounds perfectly fine, and he's using his fucking phone next to him because his mic isn't working with his Xbox. And then there's me using this mic, and it just sounds like shit. Like, it's fucking pissed me off. So this is what I decided. I was like, okay, you know what? I like it for like the audio. It's great audio headset. It's good enough to like game on PC and stuff like that. But I need one for my Xbox that's gonna be like quality for recording purposes, for like everything. I need good quality mic. So here I go into the Google world and I look up reviews on mics. The best mics that are compatible with the Series X. I don't know if you guys know about Eric's situation, but his mic isn't compatible with the Series X because it doesn't have the SDP port on the back of it like the current one does. The current generation does. So his mic doesn't work. He can't get it to work. So he has to get a new one.
That's
so
funny.
Eric's looking for one. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure that it's compatible with this new console. Like, it has to be compatible. I know that mics like Turtle Beach are inherently. I know SteelSeries, they have mics that are like that you just connect them directly to the Xbox. Wait, yes, Peter?
Drew's asking what mic you are currently using. Like, what's the headset?
I'm using the G935 Logitech mic.
Okay, continue.
It is their newest version of what Peter has currently on his head. And I also have that mic. And they sound better. Like, it still sounds a little bit stacky, but not as bad as this one. This one's mic, it's like they decided, oh, we're gonna just fuck the mic. The sound's great. When I'm playing games and I'm just listening to sounds, the surround sound is beautiful. But the mic itself is just poo. I've tried equalizers. I've gone to like many websites. I'm like, how do I best improve this mic? And I've gone on the G Hub and I've fucked with those little dials, and it's done nothing. Like, it's never improved it. So anyways, I was looking for a new mic, and I was looking at, let's see the best review mics. All of them, like every mic they list, like I'll just like we're just gonna go like this. I'm just gonna share my screen if that is okay with everyone.
I'll allow it this once.
Okay, so we're looking at this. I know it's Game Radar. It's not the only one I looked
Hey,
at, but I was
that's
like, oh,
my
that's like a
headset.
series mics
That's
that
a
are
great
compatible.
headset. I totally recommend that headset.
This one right here?
That's the one I have.
Okay, because this is the thing. Like, I was a little concerned. I was actually looking into the 9X because I heard some good things about Steer Series. I know they're a good mic and good headset, but it's like I go in there and I'm like, oh, it sounds good. Like whatever. This doesn't bug me too much because it doesn't make too much of a difference to me. But you go and look at all these, and then I go on and look at some more reviews, and they're saying, oh, I've been having some issues with the mic, and I was like, I don't want to fucking hear that. Every fucking headset that I've looked at. This one was the next one I was gonna look at because I know Turtle Beach is like they were like they are the gaming headsets, and I'm just like fuck, I just want to have a good gaming headset. So I was looking at Turtle Beaches. They're sold out everywhere because this was a little bit more in my price range. That's a little bit hefty for me, right? So I was like, oh, this is nice. This is a decent price range for like a high quality mic. Like if it's a good mic, good headset, I will pay that. Because I don't know, like you guys have seen it when we've been gaming, where I'll stand up and my freaking little cord here gets caught on my chair and it rips out, and then my controller goes flying and my fucking headset comes off, and it's just a whole show that happens. So I wanna get a new mic. I wanna get like a new one that's wireless. I don't want any wires. Fuck wires. I don't care. And then so I was looking at this on Peter, and the review is like, oh, it cuts in and out when you're playing games.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, well, I this is why I wanted to bring it up, because I wanted to hear what people who actually have these mics that I know have to say about them, right? And then there's this. I just ignore that because fuck Razer. I've had enough issues with their products. And then I was like, oh, Corsair, because I know Corsair is an excellent company. They actually have a new wireless mic that I was interested in that's for Xbox specifically. And I was like, oh, I'll be interested in this. But apparently what they were saying, I mean, this doesn't matter to me because I don't need everything canceled out. I need only specific things canceled out.
Are you trying to trade in your headset?
No!
I saw your next tab is trade-in program. I was like, Best Buy, what have you done to me? Take this garbage back and give me something else.
I was actually curious about their trade-in for my other Xbox. I don't want to go to EV Games because, in all honesty, I feel like EV Games is going to be around for maybe another year or so, and then they're going to fucking go bye-bye.
We said that years ago, and somehow they're still kicking.
That's very true.
I don't know how. I think, yeah. But then I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
Hang on. How do they go from the $40 headset to a $120 headset?
That's my other question. Is like, this is all of a sudden like, oh, it lacks features and extras and only stereo sound, whatever. But it's a nice, clear microphone.
This guy is $40, and somehow it's number 4 on the list. Is this list not in numerical order?
Is. I was gonna say it's not, but it is numbered.
Yeah, because this is their 5th most recommended. Is the next down from the 700? Is
it a generic list? Is it just like these are just the numbers for?
Yeah, I think they're just the top 5 mics they recommend.
Ranking it.
No, they're just like the top 5 mics they recommend.
Badly formatted article.
Yeah,
it is a badly formatted. Well, it is Game Radar, so you got to take it with like a grain of salt.
Please resubmit with Chicago formatting.
But I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's so frustrating looking at reviewers and listening to reviewers, because I actually got this headset off of a recommendation because I was in the market for looking for a new headset, and I was like, oh, well, I know that the ones Peter and I had that you're using right now, they're really good. Like, the wire is annoying, the cable, but it was overall a good headset. Like, it has good quality sound, the mic was pretty decent, and I was like, oh, well, they must have improved on this stuff, right? When you upgrade to the new one, they must have improved on things. This is Logitech we're talking about. They make their living off of computer accessories.
Of course.
And no, fuck you, Jared. You don't get a good mic. So, anyways, that was my rant for the morning. I was very frustrated I've been looking at so many reviews, and every review freaking contradicts itself. So I was going to ask you guys, with mics you have had in the past, what you guys would recommend. And Peter, you already said that Steel series is kind of your recommendation.
It's a good thing you asked, Jared, because if you end your screen sharing, I'm going to share my screen and show you.
Okay.
So many.
Show you my.
There we go.
Jared, I appreciate this amount of anger. I relate to it heavily.
Oh, it's so fucking frustrating. Because I don't want to spend that kind of money and then get because I already did that. I did that with this mic right here, where I got a shitty product for my money, and it's It's not. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just they didn't improve anything on it,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not the mic itself's not broken. I'm just not satisfied with what
Is it
they're
working? But
do it.
here it is. This is the real OG. This is the one that you want, Jared.
That
This-
mic. Oh.
I had
This-
I had 2 of those in my time on the Xbox One. I went through 2 of them because the little wire thing is so flimsy.
Well, here's
and we
here's
get
the good
caught again.
news. This is the Xbox 360 microphone, so never fails until it breaks or gets chewed up by a dog. It'll last forever. You can get it for the low cost of 19.45 Canadian dollars, plus 22.14 additional costs from Yakima, Washington.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you want to get a used Xbox 360 headset from Yakima, Washington?
I remember
Make
when
some
I
great
had.
wine.
When
What
I
is
had-
the additional cost?
That's
I
like
don't know.
their
That-
profit.
Like,
They
it's
normally
like-
on eBay they're like plus $20 shipping or whatever, but for this it's like additional costs. That's what I
Don't even tell.
that's
me.
what I need. Like I need to buy some lotion on my way to the post office or something like that. That's the additional costs.
Oh man. All right, so Peter, you recommend the Steel series. That is your
That's-
recommendation.
And now we're looking at the Game Grumps. My mistake.
Oh.
I exited eBay and I had Game Grumps open on the other tab.
Oh, there's
I'm
worse things you
glad
could
it was
have
just
open.
that.
Very true. Very true.
That could have been really bad for me if that was something else.
Oh man.
So that Steel series, while it's a nice mic for sure, I would have a hard time justifying that price. I got mine refurbished for like maybe 40% off that retail price.
Well, this is why I was asking, because there's a bunch of them that are on sale. Like not right, like this. A couple of them aren't on sale here, but there's quite a few mics on sale right now for Cyber Monday and Black Friday. So I was gonna. This is why I was looking now, because I was like, oh, maybe I can get a little bit of a discount on some of these. Get like a higher end mic for the price of a lower end mic that I'd be kind of looking at. And I know Eric was looking for the same thing, and he was gonna get the Arctic ones, I think, or something to that effect.
Well, you tell me, how do I sound in Xbox parties? Like, do I?
Like you sound good, and you sound better than I do right now, because I've heard myself through like recordings and stuff like that, and it's just I think that's the most frustrating thing is like, you know, if you're going to like, especially as a reviewer, and this is why I it's hard to find like a quality reviewer that actually genuinely says what the mic is about and stuff like that. And it's tough going on stores because like there's always, no matter what product you get, there's some person that is complaining about something that's completely stupid and probably was user error that happened, right? So you know, you take that with a grain of salt. So I don't know. It's just been frustrating with this. But yeah, you sound, everyone but me. Like every time I listen to anyone in a party, I'm like, man, I wish my mic sounded like that, so I don't sound like I'm talking through a walkie-talkie.
This is my Xbox headset. It's Polk Audio something or other. Polk Audio is like a professional like sound system creator, and I was like, oh shit, they have like headsets, so I bought one.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it cost me. It was like somewhere in the realm of like $200, and it works well. It's a little bit of a frustrating headset, but I mean, it sounds good. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, I don't mind paying the price. Like, I understand that it costs money to build like these really good mics. It's when you spend the money and get like a quality product that does not match that tier of product, right? Like, I
Right.
got this because I Logitech. I've had good experiences overall. Like everything I have, it has worked really well. It's never had any issues. I was really happy with how long the mic that Peter is using lasted. Like, it's still back there. I could still use it and play with it, but I was just like, it is a little bit, you know, the connector is a little bit off, but I had that one for quite a few years before I switched to this one. But no, it's just
what's that company? Yeah, what's that company that Donkey is sponsored by all the time these days that makes headphones that are apparently pretty good on the cheap?
Oh shit! I literally like just saw it in a Donkey video.
Maybe that's worth checking out,
But Jared,
or maybe it's terrible.
I feel like your issue is that you bought a PC mic, but now you're expecting it to perform well on Xbox. I feel like
well,
that's
I
where the
expect it to perform well on PC, and it doesn't.
Well,
Like I'm on PC right now, and it doesn't perform very well.
I think right now you sound fine.
Yeah, you sound fine right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like this is why I also was looking for like Xbox specific mics. I was gonna look at that, and that's kind of why I was looking into Turtle Beach, because I know they're Xbox specific or console. They make like console specific
Yeah.
mics for each console. I know SteelSeries is the same way. And of course, whenever you have something wireless, of course you're occasionally gonna have a connectivity issue. Like it's almost guaranteed. That's just how it is with that. But no, like I've been looking around at different ones, like even the Arctic 7 because Series 7 because it's a little bit less expensive, but it's still one of their higher end mics is what I was also looking at. So I don't know. I've been browsing around, but yeah, it was frustrating. Like I want them to be quality, and it wasn't there, and I was just like, I guess maybe it's the cable too. I don't know. But yeah, that was my rant. I was so frustrated looking at mics the other night. I was sitting there trying to find a good reviewer that was just genuinely would say what I needed to hear. But every time, as soon as I would see them bring up this mic and they're like, "Oh, it works great mic quality on the Xbox," it's like, you're full of shit. You're the worst reviewer I've ever seen.
I love headsets. I've too many of them.
Yep, that was my
Yes,
my rant.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love the angry rants. Yes.
Can
But on the
you
good
give us
side-
an angry rant, Peter?
No, I
Yeah,
don't. I don't
do you have any angry rants?
I mean, I could, but it's I don't think we need to. I was on Polygon looking for top
there we
for
go.
articles, and what do I come across in the gaming news? The Horse Girls canon, and I'm like, what is this? And so it's literally an 8,000 word article on the quintessential horse girl books, movies, TV shows, etc.
I actually kind of want to read this article now.
And I was just going through like, why Polygon? Why is this in gaming? Why did you spend a lot of time on this? Like, the horse girls, the appeal of horses in general just goes right over my head. Personally, I don't understand it. So just seeing all this, I don't get. I kind of want to pick up one of these books and then just like either stream or record myself reading it and getting progressively angrier over like these intense horse descriptions, because I feel like that's all that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, horse girls do exist in like another sphere of reality than us other people. You know, that's what makes them so strange and like different.
Yeah,
It's like when I was on Amazon during their Amazon Prime Day, and I was looking through all of the books, and the last like 20 pages were just all those books by the same woman, where it's like tough guy with gun, who also has a dog on the cover. I wish I could remember her name, because it was honest to God like dozens and dozens of books by the same woman. Every cover looked exactly the same. But
you find something that works, why change?
yeah, it's like it's that James Patterson style of writing where it's the same fucking murder mystery over and over, but people just eat that shit up. They love it. But yeah, I unfollowed Polygon from Twitter last week because I couldn't stand to see their shit on my timeline.
Yeah, I unfollowed Kotaku, but I haven't done Polygon yet. I
unfollowed Kotaku like over a year ago, but Polygon fucking, I don't remember what they said that put me over the edge, but there's just so much dumb shit.
I almost unfollowed Kotaku maybe 2 weeks ago. They're just like on Twitter, the headline was like, this game needs to stop. And all it was is them it was a screenshot from Psychonauts 2 in which it showed like a hallway that was all teeth, and the guy was like, I didn't like that. And that was the whole article. That was the whole thing. That was all that it was. And I was like, why? What? I don't. That I was so close to pulling the trigger on unfollowing them, but
I think now I think about it, part of it is the new D&D source book or supplement just was released about a week or two ago, and Polygon always gets early review copies, and then whenever like a new D&D book comes out, I see that they've written an article about it, and it's like, oh good, I can't wait to see how they completely misrepresent the hobby this time. And then every time I read that article, I get so mad at how it's like, you guys just don't like understand tabletop role playing. I don't think you don't know how to talk about it properly. It's clear you had to get this article out, but it's like a 300-page book or whatever. You could spend like more than a couple paragraphs elaborating on things, but no, it's all about getting those clicks, right? So
It's so weird. Like tabletop's
And-
big
yeah.
enough to like have someone who actually knows what they're talking about do it. If you're gonna be having
Mhm.
these articles, it seems so nonsensical to me to actually make them good, make them have someone who knows what
Exactly.
they're talking about writing them. It's so base level. I don't get it.
yeah, it's incredibly frustrating. So I think that's what finally pushed me over the edge, because part of it is they want to get those rage clicks. So even though it's a great supplement, they have to find something to shit on it about, which is like, and then that's what they put in the title. Even if the rest of the review is incredibly favorable, they put the bad stuff in the title to get you clicking on it. I hate it. I fucking hate that this is where we're at in
Yeah.
journalism.
I was about to say, just in a nutshell, right there. That's all it is.
Oh, you know what? Matt posted a good one because he follows that Saved You a Click video
Yeah,
game
I
page
saw
on
that.
Twitter. He posted one, or he retweeted it the other day, where it's like, how to get Tyrantus in the new update or whatever, and then Saved You a Click video games is like, you can't. They did add it to the game, but the article is still saying. It's like, just fucking ridiculous.
It-
So,
yeah, that's just the accepted norm, though.
mhm. I
It's
guess,
annoying
yeah.
though. It makes it really, really hard to, because you want to follow these because you want those updates, but it makes it really hard to fucking follow them because it's so frustrating. Just everything they post is just frustrating.
Kind of like how I want some more traffic updates from Graydon, how the road home was, but he's probably upstairs talking to his mom right now.
I
He's
was.
still
Well, how were the roads? First and
How's your mom
foremost.
doing? We want a traffic update. We want a mom update.
Please.
All right. Like I said, traffic was good. Early Sunday, or not early, like mid morning Sunday traffic. Not a lot of people out there. Mom's great. She's stressed, holiday season and all that, but past that, we're doing all right.
Perfect.
Back to you at the studio.
All right.
Uh,
What is happening here at the studio?
Also, I just wanted to say, in terms of like that's stupid with articles. Like, I didn't like that. Or, yeah, this is okay. I think that's stupid and I hate it, but I also kind of want to do it now.
Don't add to the
Just wanna see
poison.
how popular can I get with strict like clickbait titles and image cards, and then like 3-word articles.
The Onion, but only 2 or 3 words.
Yeah. I'm sure the Onion had some articles like that, just to make the joke.
They must.
I mean, Polygon did have that guy who's become like a popular YouTuber, Brian David Gilbert, or
He's-
whatever his
yeah,
name
I
is.
like him. He's funny. I gotta say, I do like him.
He's not with Polygon anymore, is he?
I
He left?
I thought he was, but I don't really follow him at all, so I have no idea.
Right. I've never actually watched any of his videos. I just know that I think he was with Polygon, and he was writing a lot of their more interesting stuff. And then he was like, well, I'm going to make more money doing my own thing. And then he didn't do it anymore.
Yeah, like I watched the first 2 or 3 videos he made for Polygon, and I really enjoyed those, but I never ended up hearing anything else about what he did from there.
Anyways.
So Red Dead Online, it's they've decided to release it as its own standalone thing.
What?
Yeah, it's gonna be it's on sale for $5 right now, which is a 75% discount, and it's just the online. It's just the online. I'm just kind of like, who is this for? Who wants to
Yeah.
play Red
See-
Dead Online that doesn't have the main game?
See, to me, that sounds like they're really, really, really trying to salvage Red Dead Online. Like they're
Yeah.
really they like that's almost a cry for help by Rockstar to be like, hey, I'm releasing this, guys, right there, $5.
And it's still 123 gigabytes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's massive.
Yeah.
Well, for see how I rate my games is I for every dollar I spend, I want a gigabyte of download. So
Whoa,
so I'm
there.
really getting a bang for my buck there.
You know, that upsets me. I feel like that's kind of targeted at me, and it hit its mark, Jared. I hope you know that.
Oh man.
It's insane. Like, I wonder if that's. I mean, that's very clearly like nobody's playing this. Let's try and get a few more people on or whatever. But it's like the target demographic, the people who want to play Red Dead Online already own Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
The people who don't have the main Red Dead game are not going to play Red Dead Online. Like, if
Yeah, I
they weren't
feel like-
enticed by the main campaign, they're not going to be enticed into the multiplayer.
Oh, so true.
Because the multiplayer is not good, unfortunately.
No, like it just didn't have a lot to it. Like it was. I mean, we messed around. The most fun we had was that one. No, I don't know if it was necessarily fun, but it was when we were doing that big massacre on the bridge.
I don't know if it was
Oh, yeah.
fun.
I kept dying, so I don't know if I was having fun or not. But no, I'm with you, Jack. Like I feel like those games. No, like if they say back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's always that single player experience that drew people into that multiplayer experience with the Rockstar games, right? Like GTA 5 played the single player and then it drew everyone into GTA 5 Online and it was really good. GTA 5 Online still good from what I hear. I haven't played it in forever. Red
It
Dead,
just released something.
amazing single player, great story, sick, and then they did the online just didn't have a lot to it. They just didn't have a lot
Mhm.
there for you to do
Yeah.
and go through. So I'm with you. No one's gonna buy a standalone online game if they didn't play the story. Because I mean, especially for a game like that where it's like it's heavily based on its story, right?
For sure. This is crazy. I mean, I feel like they could have done a lot better with Red Dead Online. I think they could have had like some of the large scale heists and stuff like that. They could have added more interesting weapons and stuff like that. But you're never going to be able to compete with the interesting things you can do with Grand Theft Auto because it's a modern setting, you know? There's only so much you can do with.
I can't wait till they bring out
Again.
Tron horses in Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption 2 where I can go around and
Just add flying horses. Just
There you go.
Rockstar needs to double down on the memes and just
I honestly think they do. They should like introduce like a BioShock Infinite almost like kind of aesthetic to Red Dead Online. People would love that shit. This is like cruising around in giant like zeppelins, gunning down your enemies, raining fire from above.
oh man.
It only cost you fucking 400 gold bars. Please give us 100 real life dollars to receive the death from above zeppelin for you and your friends.
Oh, where do I pay?
And
Mhm.
speaking of like payments like that, Red Dead Online will have a payment option that will unlock all existing upgrades and content.
So what's the point of even playing? If you just get everything.
You know, I really have no idea. And like that, it specifies that includes all the content in the next expansion that's coming next week.
I'm gonna pay $5 so I can pay $500.
Exactly.
It's a gateway drug, man. First one to taste.
Yeah, except the gateway drug it's supposed to latch you. The online doesn't latch me. It makes me not want to play it.
The funny thing is that the original Red Dead had a pretty decent multiplayer that was actually fun if you got into it. It had some cool like shootouts and game modes, and then there was free roam, which was just fun to fuck around in. It was almost like a proof of concept for what would go on to, pardon me, become GTA Online, which is
Yeah.
really interesting. Like, I had so much fun just fucking around in free roam or doing like the missions that were available to you in Red Dead
More,
originally.
more fun than we had in Red Dead 2 online.
Yeah, absolutely it was. And then they introduced a bunch more modes with Undead Nightmare. It's like people are clamoring. Like they want more Red Dead content, but they want more single player content like they gave us with the original Red Dead. And Rockstar would make a killing if they would just fucking, but they just don't want to spend the money to create like
Yeah.
single player DLC,
I
which
think
is
like,
sad.
they see it as it's not even worth their time anymore.
Yeah. it's sad and frustrating.
I
But-
I just think with all they've learned from GTA Online, you think they would have made Red Dead Online better. It's weird. I really don't get it. They really done goofed, and there's no good reason for it.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. They have no one but themselves to blame. And fucking Grand Theft Auto Online is still fucking making a killing. It's still as popular as it ever was.
I think there's new content coming.
They're launching a
Soon, too.
large new heist. It's like you get to use a submarine, you get to use a lot of different things. I always said I think it'd be nice to go back and do some of the heists because they look like fun. Like we never really had a chance to go through any of them, so it'd be fun to check them out. I mean, at this point, like playing just open world online, you're gonna get messed up by people because there's just people that have been playing it for so long that they have everything. But to do some of their heists would be super fun, I think.
I don't want to go back to Grand Theft Auto at this point. I don't want to download it. It's too big.
It's too big.
Well, we were talking about doing since it's on Game Pass. I know Eric was talking about games that we used to play and would be going back to. We were thinking about doing some of the raids. Like I know Eric's got Destiny 2 downloaded.
Oh, and Destiny.
And it's got all the DLCs on Game Pass now. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna check it out and see what they improved on it. Because apparently, from what I was like looking at, the new DLC actually is really well done. Like some of the smaller reviewers that I've watched, they say that it's good, and I don't know. I've kind of stayed away from IGN and those kind of reviewers because I just get shit that's not really accurate.
It's just so frustrating knowing that I bought the season pass or whatever. You know, I bought at the beginning when the game came out. I bought the game along with what I thought was going to be all of the downloadable content, but no. You get it up to a certain point, then you gotta pay Bungie more money. You gotta give us more money. It's like, why though? Why did you sell me a false bill of goods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as like Jerry and I this is probably the first Destiny. Now that I think about it, but like
Yeah,
we got the game.
that messed me.
We
up
got the
too.
game off the get go, and we grinded from level 1 to 20 or whatever it was.
It was 25 was the light level max at that time.
Jared,
No,
is
because there was
burnt
levels,
in.
and then there was light levels. I'm pretty sure it was 20. But anyway, we got it. We played for like a month, 2 months, and then everybody else was like, "Okay, we'll get it too." And then Bungie was like, "Hey, welcome aboard. Here's your max level. Just use this item in game. Don't worry about everything else."
Yep.
It's like, cool. All right, fun.
That
whatever.
happened to me like 2 years after release. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy Destiny because it's on sale for like $15. And then I log into the game. It's like, here is the original max light level item. Here's the new max light level item. It gave me the max light level, all of the XP that I needed. It gave me a bunch of fucking items to like get a huge like boost. I remember getting into a game with Graydon. I had done nothing, absolutely nothing, and my light level was higher than his.
Yep.
Just like, oh, you want to play the main game? No. Here, just progress to the end game. Yeah. We'll just push you
Yeah.
along.
I still played through the campaign. I like one-shot everything.
I just
It's pissed. Yeah.
Like, it has a lot of potential in terms of their raids. Like, they do look fun, but I'm not willing to put in the work.
see.
It's a lot of work.
In my mind, the raids are a lot like the COD Zombie Easter eggs. Like, is it really worth that much time and effort? I shouldn't have to do homework to play a video game. I shouldn't have to get a wall with red string everywhere to fucking just complete a raid. It's just Destiny. Destiny has a hard time making me care about what it's all about. And if I
One
don't
of my
care,
favorite-
then
One of my favorite things that happened, just talking about like the Easter eggs and zombies, is the last time I think it was Graydon, myself, and Ron and maybe one other person were playing one of the zombies, and we're doing the story. Sorry, and we were playing for like 3-4 hours, and we found out we did the short ending. We did the short ending of the fucking. Was that? Do you remember
the
that?
fucking Sky Boss or whatever it was.
I couldn't believe that. That just reminded me of that. That was such bullshit. Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, because we did try the one raid that one time, the Vault of Glass. We had
Mhm.
like 8 fucking people, all like tunnel vision on this one goal. Remember that fucking scene in the cavern where there were the unkillable enemies, and you just have to stealth around them? It took us, honest to God, an hour and a half maybe. It was impossible. Then we got to the next part and we like do the thing, and then like it glitched or something, and we couldn't continue, or we lost somebody, like somebody's internet.
I think it was.
crapped
I'm
out.
pretty sure we lost Mitch. So I think Mitch figured out the sneak past people because he just decided to run, and then and then I'm pretty sure he glitched out, and then it kicked us out of the raid, and we had just spent like hours playing that fucking raid.
Or we tried the one very briefly in Destiny 2 where it was like the palace of the like the big guys.
Yeah, the gold place.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was hard as fuck just getting through the first part. Not to mention you got to do it like 4 times after you get each objective.
Yeah, didn't we like?
Then you get to the boss fight.
We finished like the one objective, and we're like, "Well, it's been hours. We're out of time."
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You also remember us saying, "Oh, we'll go back to this and try again next time."
Sorry,
I will say this. I think our biggest issue and the reason raids, I mean, they're hard anyways because that's what they're made to be hard. But I think also our issue is that majority of our fucking team picked hunters as our goddamn class, so we had no kind of diversity. We were literally
You don't need diversity in
we were a bunch
fucking-
of glass cannons walking around. That's all we fucking were.
Fuck you, Hunter's a great class.
I know it's a great class, but it's just a glass cannon. We have no one that could withstand damage.
Well,
I think Graydon was the only one that went something that was I think you went as a guardian, Graydon,
Not
right?
the
That was
warlock.
yeah. So you had a little more oomph behind you.
I can't change now. I'd have to grind through the whole game again.
That's actually what Eric's doing. Hey, he's starting right from scratch. He's gonna go as a different class other than Hunter. I said to him, I was like, I'll jump in with you, but I'm not fucking starting from scratch. I'm not doing that
I ain't
shit.
got time
I
for
don't
that.
care that much about that game to to do that. But anyways, we were gonna check it out. I was gonna go see what it's all about. The new DLC does look kind of cool. I was looking at the trailers for it.
But the problem is, at this point, I've missed about 4 DLCs since the game launched.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed on my series on the new Xbox. It's very pretty. Very, very pretty. The ray tracing adds a lot to it. The frames, wow, that was noticeable. Like the increase in amount of frame rate was fucking. It was like night and day difference looking at the screen. At first I was like, oh, I'm not gonna really notice that too much of a difference because I played with higher frames on my PC games, right? But I play it like maybe 60 frames on my PC, and then I'm pretty sure that they're running Assassin's Creed at 120 frames per second. And that made quite a difference. Like it was noticeable enough that it took me a bit. It actually threw me off a little bit in some of the combat because I had to now readjust to this new frame rate, and it fucked my counter timing up. Went up for a little bit until I got used to it. But very pretty. I'm quite impressed.
I don't know if I believe in over 100. Like, I don't think most TVs can support over 60 frames. I
know nowadays they can.
I don't believe. I don't know. It does. TVs have never needed to run 120 frames. Now they just can. I don't know, man.
No, like on mine, for example, the biggest thing, and this is where you see a big increase in price difference for let's say PC gaming monitors, for example, it's their refresh rate, right?
Yeah,
So they'll do so it's like you'll have 1 millisecond to 5 millisecond refresh rate for a lot of PC monitors, and that makes a larger difference than frame rate. A lot of these, at least my TV, and I know my 2 monitors, they can run things at 120. When I run this one at 60, it runs really well, but the refresh rate is slower than some of the others, so it can hinder the gameplay. If you're really wanting to get the most out of a frame rate change, you need also a high refresh rate, right? So I just think I don't know. I think until like this, a TV like Graydon's would capitalize more
Yeah.
on the refresh or the frame rate than my TV does. Even though my TV was a 120 frame per second capability, it's not. It was not. It was made before a lot of things could run things at 120
Yeah,
frames per
that
second.
that's
So
that's what I mean. Cause I kind of feel like my TV's, I don't know, like 4 years old-ish. I don't think I can fucking handle everything the new console's going to be able to throw at it.
no, like mine's a little bit newer. I think mine's like a year and a bit old, year or two old. I don't know. Graydon was with me when I bought it at one of the VIP sale things.
Yeah.
But like I'd say even a jump from 30 to 60 frames per second is
Oh,
still
yeah.
a noticeable
that-
difference.
that's
It's still
huge, yeah.
it's still quite noticeable. But yeah, for them to capitalize, especially on like bigger games, to capitalize on that frame per second, you will need a higher end TV. And that's just where it is. But I mean, it's like anything else, right? Like the consoles for like in the past have usually preceded where the like actual TVs are at to utilize them, and they make them so it's like the console's made so it can withstand many generations of different TVs instead of the other way around where it's usually because like I mean look at the series, like the Series X, you're talking about a console that is made for I believe it can run 8K if I'm correct. It can do 120 frames per second, and like we just said, there's not a ton of TVs except for newer TVs that I'd say you'd have to have within the last couple of years to have a TV that could run at 120 frames.
Frames per second and TVs and shit like that. It's just the same argument as like graphics to me. Like people who are like, "Oh, the graphics look terrible," or "Oh, the graphics look so good." It's like I only give a shit if the game is fun to play. If it's a bad game, I don't care what it looks like. If it's a bad game, I don't care how many frames per second it runs at. Like it's inconsequential, and I don't understand why it's such a big deal to some people. Like the frames per second. This is like I can see it on my little Samsung TV that I keep on my desk here. That's good enough for me. TV is like 5 years old at this point.
See, for me, it was nice. Like it was a nice added thing to the Assassin's Creed because I already really liked the new one. The gameplay was really good. I was really enjoying my time playing it. And then just that added when I switched it over, seeing that difference between the two is kind of it was a nice little appeal thing. But yeah, it's something I agree with you, Jack. Unless the game is actually good, what's the fucking point? It doesn't matter how pretty it looks.
Hey, speaking of good games, I've been playing Hades lately.
Hey.
Oh my god, it's actually incredible. Like I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this kind of looks like a generic roguelike, and I just didn't pay attention to it. Now that it's been like properly released and like all of these big names, like not just in like the game industry, but like everybody who I've seen on Twitter or anywhere is like, this is an incredible game. You have to play it. I'm like, okay, I will play the Hot Boy game. And sure enough, it is so good. So good. The way they've merged like the story details into a roguelike where you're almost being rewarded for being killed. Like every time whenever I die and I get that little bit closer to the end game, I'm like, it's so rewarding. And it's such a refreshing take on Greek mythology as opposed to being like a retelling of stories. It's like what's going on, now with Greek mythology almost. Like what's happened ever since, the ends of those myths that I studied in university. It's so cool, see like how well they've done everything.
Yeah.
It's just
I
amazing.
I think it's that it's that game direction, that initial vision they had and were able to execute so well is what really sells it for me. It's that magic factor that you don't see in other games, other roguelikes. It's what makes it different. I love it.
The most apt comparison I can make is Binding of Isaac, and that's the OG roguelike that people compare like all other roguelikes to nowadays. It's like, is it as good as Binding of Isaac? There hasn't really been anything that's as good as Binding of Isaac ever since Binding of Isaac came out, and I think this might be better than Binding of Isaac in a lot of ways.
That's a statement.
Yeah, I think it's incredible.
No, I totally recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
It's a full price game, right?
No, it's like 30
No,
$40.
it's on for $25 right now. I'm just looking at it.
100% worth the money.
Yeah, I bought it on sale. Get it while it's on sale on the Nintendo store right now. Get it while you can.
I am currently buying it because it's one of the other games that I wanted
Like-
to play.
Yeah, it's on my list.
It's
too.
so rare that because I beat the game, I got the credits to roll, but I'm still playing it. It's been so long since I've done that in a game.
Mhm.
But Hades, it's my BBG.
It's one of those games that I look at them like I might 100% this, and like I know that I'm probably only a few runs away from beating the final boss, but I don't even care. I'm like, I'm gonna just keep playing this because I want to see what happens with all these characters,
Mhm.
and just I want to keep ticking off those boxes. And I think there's like a ton of shit that you might never see on like an initial playthrough, which is
Oh,
insane.
Probably, yeah.
The amount of dialogue they have written is staggering.
It's just so hard to find time to play all these great games these days.
See, that's the good thing about Hades. That run only takes like half an hour.
yeah.
To beat it takes half an hour.
No, sorry, like one run through it, like
Yeah.
one attempt to get to the final boss, sort of thing.
If you're really good, I did see a speed run where a guy did it on like, first attempt.
Speedrunners. They scare me.
But yeah, I'll just tell you guys straight up, you're not going to beat it on your first attempt.
No,
It's
you doubt
it's-
me.
it's a rather tough game. It's a steep learning curve, but once you've played a couple of runs, it really like makes sense. Like it's actually incredible. That's another thing that makes it like Binding of Isaac. I was like, when I started playing Binding of Isaac, I was like, I fucking suck at this game. And then slowly but surely you build up a rapport and you kind of know what you're doing a little bit, run after run, and eventually you're like, oh, okay, I get this now.
What's your favorite
And
weapon
then-
to use, Jack?
I really liked the trident, but then I unlocked the shield, and I was like,
Mm.
okay, the shield is killer. Like
shield is
it's
nice.
it's so easy to build like a good synergy with the shield, especially because I really like Artemis's perks.
Mm.
So I was using her trinket that gets you like a guaranteed trinket boon from her. So I was really making some like high damage ranged builds with the shield, which has worked quite well for me so far. How about you?
I think it's the trident for me. I really love what I was able to end up doing with it. Just that quicker ranged attack compared to the shields. The shield's nice just to be able to fucking go everywhere, right? But
Mhm.
that's the other thing I like. The weapons do provide good varied combat.
Mhm. Yeah, it's good stuff.
No, I've told you guys that I've been trying to get into more because I have my Switch. I bought it, but I don't do a lot of gaming on it. I play Pokemon on it, and I play Mario Party and Mario Kart.
Time to
Yeah.
You
embrace
gotta
the
play.
indie.
I played
Legend
a
of Zelda.
different because Graydon bought a bunch of indie games. I've actually played a decent amount. Some of them pretty shit, but I played a decent amount of. Oh come on, Peter! There's that one fucking I forget what puzzle game it is, but it's like a you know that one
Enigma?
that look. Yeah, that one. It's just absolute poo. Like what a waste of my time. Easy 1,000 gamer score, but what a waste of time.
Do you ever really trust the free games with gold?
No.
No, exactly. Exactly.
But that no. But I actually have a decent amount. I was gonna try out the new Tetris game because apparently it's pretty. Eric was saying it's pretty phenomenal with the new console, so I was gonna check that out. Eric's had some pretty good recommendations. The only one I wasn't a big fan of was I played Dragon's Dogma as his recommendation, and I did not. It wasn't really a game for me. I didn't really enjoy it very much. But
Dogma. That's a weird.
but he's
word.
pretty. He's usually pretty on par. He gives good recommendations.
Hey, can we end the podcast so I can go play Hades?
We're actually, you know what? I have one last topic. One last thing.
Okay.
So
Give it to me.
everyone's talking. Wow, new consoles, new this, new that. No, you want to know what I think is going to cause the next revolution in gaming? Smells. I want smells in my games, and fortunately for me, there's a great startup company that's providing smells for your favorite games. Here, you know what? I'll put this link in our Discord so you can take a look for yourselves. But it's like a set of like essentially little pots that open up and have a fan that blows air at you and makes you smell things.
Whenever people try and do that with like videos or anything, whenever they try and include smells into the experience, all I can think of is the Futurama episode with the smelloscope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's smelloscope. Some of the different types they have include car, fantasy,
Car.
meat, and stinky.
Stinky.
Stinky. I just don't know who this is aimed for. Who's gonna sit with this thing? I just don't get it. I don't understand what the smells are gonna do for you. This is just people looking for like, ooh, I've got smells to go with my video games. I'm a true gamer. You can't get immersion like this anywhere else. I don't get it.
I can't see this being good.
No, it
No.
doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good on paper. It can't smell good.
Can you imagine like you're feeling a little bit under the weather, you stayed home from work, and I'm just gonna relax and play some video games, and then smelly hits you.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, that looks like a really gross area of the game. Am I really prepared for that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna avoid that. Yeah, you're gonna have people that just don't want.
that's how you make Blighttown even worse.
Yeah.
Like you just know Blighttown smells awful,
You're
and
gonna
it's
get
everyone's
nothing,
least favorite part of Dark Souls.
nothing but meat and stinky smells from that one.
Yeah,
God, you'd have to get like 15 cartridges just to fucking last long enough for you to get through it.
that's the other thing. Like you got to fill these things up, presumably.
Yeah, it's like $5 a bottle or whatever they're called.
Not worth it.
Like they talk about like how one VR game's working with it, and it's just like I don't think smell is what's gonna sell it for VR. I don't think that's what
No,
everyone's waiting.
Yeah,
for.
I don't think people are looking for that kind. I don't think they need to be able to like
Be that
go into
immersed.
this game and be like,
Be
ah,
like, "Is
I'm
something
inside
burning?"
my video game now.
man, what would last Halloween have been like if we could have smelled everything that was going on around us?
I was gonna say we should make like a short little parody where like Peter's running around in VR and like someone pulls and holds flowers under his nose and then pulls it away or something.
I'm just like,
But then like you'd have to program into the game like what smell is going to be released at what time and what
Yeah.
area. Like that's a lot of work for developers for like third product hardware that most people aren't going to have.
Well, and then you're gonna have specific like cartridges for specific like gaseous smells and stuff like that, right? Like you can't just because different gases create different kind of scents to the body. So you're not just going to be walking through everywhere and it's like, oh, you know what? All we're gonna smell is methane for the next 15 games that we play on this with this little smell device. I think it's dumb.
Yeah, and what if it glitches out and only releases like one of the pods?
yeah.
And how long do the pods last as well?
Listen, if it's anything like those room scent things, it's gonna last no time. Like they always say
They'll
on
be
the
gone in 2
packages,
days.
it'll be like, hey, this is gonna last you 2 months. Awesome. In a few days, like Graydon said, it's fucking empty, and you're like, what the hell? No, I don't need to smell things. I'm not even interested in the fucking vest thing that they have now for some of the shooters and stuff like that, where if you get shot in a certain part of the abdomen, it'll like impact there, or it'll, like send like it's almost like they have like shockwave devices in therapy that they use to break up cartilage and stuff, or sorry, ossified areas, ossified tendons and things like that. And that's basically what it is. It's like a reverberation, and it just goes into you. And I don't even need that. I don't need to be fucking sitting there going, I'm terrified to run around Call of Duty. I don't want to fucking move to get around here.
You
see,
camper.
Even that makes more sense than the smells, though.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
it makes sense. I just wouldn't want it.
I would try that. 100%. I would try that.
I would try it, but I don't need it for every
Oh,
shooter
no, I
I'm
wouldn't.
playing.
I don't even
Alright,
like
we're
when
good.
my controller vibrates. Like, how am I going to like it if my Xbox is releasing smells?
Oh, so you're not a fan of the adaptive triggers for the PS5?
That's another. Oh.
I don't know.
It's like
Peter's a
Kinect
big
for
fan.
smells. Ugh.
And there's some games you just don't want to smell. Like, could you imagine playing playing any of the sports games and all you smell is the fucking gross, stinky equipment?
Yeah. What if you play like one of the porn games and you start like smelling like humid fluids? Because like
Oh, I
It's
didn't
like,
even think about
listen-
that.
it was like, man, I really want to smell this pussy, this virtual pussy.
Then you just get the Gwyneth Paltrow candle out too, and you're
Oh,
just
yeah,
fully in
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Man, Goop could produce some of these smell modules for VR.
Oh man.
Is Goop still a company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're still making it's too much money, I'm sure.
There's so many better like sensory receptor types to target than olfactory. Like that is like the last thing you need to target. Like
Well, with video games, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to smell the video games. I can see in some instances where it might be cool. Say you're like walking through a forest and you get like a pine scent or something like that. Then you get into like a gunfight and you start to smell like gunpowder mixed with pine. But then it's like you get to the sex scene and you smell the pussy, and it's like, well,
here, Jack, I have a strategy for you. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna hook up some sort of pulley device, and it's gonna have a bunch of those little evergreen tree scent things that you put in your car,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be all the different smells, and you can, drop multiple down at once if you want to smell the forest along with some gunpowder.
I'm picturing the scene in Spirited Away where they put the bath tags
Oh
on.
yeah.
And you release it up to the boiler room.
That's the early access of my rendition of their gas machine.
Yeah.
On Kickstarter soon.
See, mine's gonna be a little
Oh.
different. I'm gonna modify the VR headset to just be like an old school gas mask. So you got the vision, and then you're just locked in.
You get a
You got
stinky
a
smell.
tube
You're
running.
trying to escape it, like won't come off. It's like no.
So I'd say, not comfortable wearing your VR headset? Add a gas mask.
Could we incorporate this in other ways? Could we like make a VR 20 pounds of ass and pussy that is very lifelike and releases the smells as well?
Grain, when are you gonna ship that to Peter's house?
No,
I'm still
please
waiting
don't.
for that to happen.
It's Amazon's backed up.
What was even the argument? What was the bet? I don't even remember.
No, Jerry, you wrote it down.
I'd have to look it up on my phone.
I thought we were just sending Peter weird shit.
No, please
If
don't.
we were, but there was an actual bet that
Yeah,
Peter
I said something.
he would have to buy it himself.
I said I
if he
can't.
wanted.
If he did something, or if he here, I'll have to look.
No,
Did-
no,
did
no.
anybody-
I regret
did anyone
even
win?
bringing it up. I don't.
I don't really. I forgot about it. I hope it's something like Peter has to beat 27 games this year.
Cyberpunk has to release on the original release date.
Yeah.
That might be it. Actually,
No,
now that you
that's
say
not
it.
it. That's
No,
not it.
it was-
I, wouldn't
I
have
think
said
it was
that.
something about Cyberpunk.
No, I better. I want to love the game. Don't make me hate it.
Mm.
Oh man.
All right. Well,
Oh,
we're out
it's
of
gotta be here
time, so
somewhere.
let's go offline before we find out and announce to the internet my fate. Wow, that was a varied podcast. It went from angry headphone discussions to horses to Red Dead to smells.
I'm gonna send you 20 pounds of Dark Magician Girl.
That's better than what they're saying.
Why?
What, Grain? We've talked about this. What do I do with that? Do I just
You
leave it on
put
the
it on
coffee
that
table?
little
I put it
behind
up
you,
on the
yes.
fireplace?
Yes,
Yeah, you mount it like it's a deer head.
exactly.
You got a plaque
you-
for it.
You want it as a conversation piece when people come over.
I think it does the opposite, actually. I think it actually causes people to leave, go back through the door. They're like, I don't know what happens down here, but I don't want any part of it.
Talk about what happens in the basement.
Well, we're Live Connection. We stream twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays. We're a variety channel, so we do a whole pile of different stuff. If you liked what you saw here today, please leave us a like. It definitely helps us out and lets us know we're on the right track. Yeah. I had
Yeah.
other things to say, but my brain was
But
like,
you
you're
forgot
done.
them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So
You cut off.
I guess I hope you guys have a good Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.